This went straight to DVD for a reason. Before we begin, I finally finished my replacement podium since a battle axe got stuck in this one. Alright, here we go. Like it? It's made out of mahogany. Right, anyway, Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is a mouthful of a title and stars Patrick Seitz as the titular Scorpion. Jennifer Carpenter voices Sonya Blade, military badass and crusher of Johnny Cage's balls. Jordan Rodriguez voices the Chosen One Liu Kang, and Joel McHale rounds out the people most paid as the voice of Johnny Cage. So follow along as I summarize this simple and non-confusing story. One day, Scorpion of the Shirai Ryu clan is out being a good dad until the Lin Kuei decide being a good father and a stable traditional marriage is no longer allowed in the court of public opinion. Sub-Zero then comes along, ices Scorpion. Scorpion is then sent to the Netherrealm, where presumably Moloch tells Hanzo to find Shinnok, only to find Quan Chi, and if you've lost me by this point, now you understand why this is such a problem in video game movies. Albeleo, this was clearly made for the fandom. That's an excuse. Saying it's for the fans is your bias getting in the way. This is the same argument for kids' movies. It's for the kids, so it doesn't matter. Bullshit. The Secret of Nim, The Land Before Time, and The Iron Giant would beg to differ. The point I'm making here is that film based on popular and geeky subjects are often stuffed with more references than a comic book convention and are just as unhealthy. Cramming references down our throat like a Bill Cosby pudding pop has the effect of repulsion to most rather than attraction. This is what led to the fall of Warcraft. Take the names I mentioned a moment ago: Netherrealm, Shirai Ryu clan, and Shinnok. These are just a few of the boatload of references in this film thrown at you like tags in videos on YouTube, with no real explanation of each. There's no repetition for memorization or time to digest. Imagine if Lord of the Rings took all the names for locations, characters, armor, weapons, books, and monsters, didn't repeat them, and then crammed all of them into roughly an hour and 10 minutes. I know college students that don't crunch this hard for exams, so why should the audience? You shouldn't sacrifice quality for the fans. How about we tackle the fights, since this is what the entire series is focused on? Short answer, most of them suck. They're certainly brutal and aren't dull, I'll give them that. The X-ray moves from the recent games are included as well to drive the point home, in case you were wondering exactly what happens when you tear a man's arms off. Oftentimes, the fights suffer from lesser animation. The movement is limited already, with most being cheap, repetitive actions where half the body will freeze while the other half doesn't. At one point, Scorpion does the Naruto run, so take from that what you will. Another example is Liu Kang performing his bicycle kick in 5 or so frames of repeated animation. Feels like watching an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon or an Albeleo video. Furthermore, if the animation isn't stiff but is decently choreographed, then the fight is too short and doesn't have the weight behind it. The worst culprits are back-to-back, starting with the group being surrounded by a bunch of mercenaries with guns drawn and trained on our heroes. The mercs then proceed to get merked systematically as a strong majority of them stand there like cardboard cutouts for everyone to rip and tear through like the Donner Party. Immediately after that, Scorpion's chance for revenge against Sub-Zero comes and goes like a narcoleptic's consciousness. Basically, Scorpion and Sub-Zero play patty cake for a minute before Scorpion hugs Sub-Zero to death as they fall into a pit. Being only a total of an hour and 20 minutes, credits included, makes this a really difficult task. Scorpion's Revenge tries to compress the entirety of the first Mortal Kombat film, Scorpion's death and rebirth, enough fight scenes that fans will be pleased, and make a competent film all at the same time without bursting its own belt buckle like Yogi Bear after he monopolized the picnicking industry. Another issue is that some characters are given very little time to establish, like Sonya. Listen, I ain't asking for a novel, but her backstory amounts to an epileptic seizure. She's fighting a dude! She was in the military! Here's Jax! Sonya has something to prove! Now back to the fight! At least Sonya receives this nod, while other characters like Kitana are blown off and Motaro gets fucking wrecked. Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is just another in the long, terrible run of video game movies. While it's certainly better than many of the Mortal Kombat film adaptations, that doesn't mean it's good. It's just meh. The bold art style fits the brutality the series is known for. However, there is an overabundance of nods to the fans, like the filmmakers ignored literally anyone else that would have watched this film had it just been generally appealing. There's no care for any of the characters. The fights are hit and miss. The film tries to establish a sequel, but is more interested in itself, which conflicts more than someone with multiple personality disorder. Now that I've finished him, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe for more weekly movie reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.